Hello, and welcome to this installment of Blackheart Talks. Communication is an integral part of human society. It helps us communicate ideas between one another, and in fact, without it, we're all just kind of a bunch of useless apes flinging poop at each other. Nobody wants to go back there. Not again. Communication has evolved a lot since its conception, from the first primal grunts that humanity ever uttered, to smoke signals, spoken language, written language, and then eventually, and now in this age of the internet, we have various methods of communication such as text messaging, or texting, as I'm sure we all call it. Each one of these new forms of communication brings upon itself a new etiquette, little nuances that's never written down anywhere, but we all, some way or another, wind up learning. So today, we're going to talk about texting and the etiquette that comes with it. So guys, my first question for the day is, when it comes to texting, how long is too long to not respond?
Well, who you talking about? You talking about like somebody who you talking about like a mom, or you talking about like somebody who I strongly care about, or somebody who's just like a
friend, an acquaintance?
Yeah,
take your pick.
Like I know you, but
dealer's choice.
If you a babe and you got 3 less minutes to respond.
Wow.
I don't think 3 minutes is not that long.
I personally, myself, what I do is like I'll respond to a message as soon as I am capable of responding to that message. Whether it's like, okay, they asked me a question, I gotta think about a response, like a good response. Or like if it's that like I'm at work practicing in a rehearsal, like I sometimes, well, depending on what rehearsal, obviously, sometimes I just don't want to like use my phone. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if I'm in an hour rehearsal and you text me at the beginning of it, I'm not going to text you back until that hour's up. Like that, I'm not just going to be like, oh, I got to respect this person's 3 minutes, pull out the phone. And at the same time, I respect when people do that too. I don't respect immediate text backs, but like, you know, like if I send you something that's like open-ended, you know, like I would hope that you would respond back. You know,
I think if I'm having an actual conversation with you, it's about, and that's good, 2 to 3 minutes. That's a normal conversation. Like 5 minutes, all right. 5 to like 7 minutes, you doing something. 10 is like, all right, you got 10 minutes to text me back, or else it's like you better be like taking a shower, or talking to your mama or something. Okay. So doing some chores.
So let's say like you respond back to a text way past your time limit. Like for you, this is a crazy amount of time to wait before you respond to a text. Do you take it upon yourself to justify why you're so late, or you just roll with it? Like you just responded in a conversation?
Okay, sometimes I like to like if it's like in a long time, like if it's like an hour or two, I like to say, oh, like I'm sorry I didn't respond, like I was like doing so and so. Like I feel like that's just fair. But then I'll like keep the conversation going. I'm not gonna be like, oh, okay, like I'm sorry, I was at practice.
Well, for me, I mean, if you know me, I'm most likely gonna tell you what I'm doing if I know I'm not going to respond immediately.
Right.
So if I'm going to rehearsal, I'm like, okay, I'm about to go into rehearsal, just know I might not text you back or whatever.
Right. Okay.
Or just know I'm not ignoring you because I'm in rehearsal. So I'm more of a person to tell you before I'm doing it.
I'm usually late to, like really late to stuff, and I'll usually forget about stuff until like the last 5 minutes before it. So like sometimes like texting somebody that is I just forget to. I'm just like,
I'll just
I got practice in 5 minutes.
All right. So cool. So that's some good perspective on that. Now the next question is, what happens when you're responding to somebody and then they text you back and they're one of those single word responders? You know what I'm talking about?
I'll give it 2 text messages, and if you send me like 2 or 3 text messages in a row that say okay or LOL,
conversation
I'm like,
over.
right,
yeah.
Like I'm not one of those rude people who's gonna like send you a message and say, all right, you being rude, I'm done talking. I just like stop messaging you back. Like, I hope you understand it's because you're not like helping create a conversation. Like I'm texting you to create a conversation or to ask you a question or to just vibe, you know?
So what happens if this is somebody you have to talk to? Like say this isn't a friend, say this is like a coworker or someone you're working on a project with, and you need to get this conversation with them, and they're just giving you single word response.
At that point, if I need them and they're doing it like that, I'll just call them because like at that point you can't give me single word responses. Like, because if they do, I just flame them then. Like, that's just.
But there's those people you can call and you can't call, or they're just texters. But if you just keep texting me, like,
if we have to
get words, after a few 1 words, I'm done texting.
Or the people who call and then like you'll call them and they'll not answer and they'll just send you a, hey, what's up? You called me?
Yeah, then.
It's like
okay.
You're done.
Do you guys ever get like like annoyed with people and start getting a little passive aggressive. Like I know me, sometimes if you're giving me a bunch of responses I don't like, I'll wait longer to respond to you and I'll start turning the read receipts on in my phone.
Red receipts?
Yeah, you
Red
know those
receipts.
little things.
You
that
mean
tell
the read receipts?
No, they're
Red
called.
receipt,
They're
read
called.
receipt, whatever.
No, they're called red receipts.
You mean
No,
read
they're called
receipts?
red receipts. Back up your argument.
Okay.
It just flows better. Well, first off, it just flows better. Nobody says why would you say a red receipt? It's just a read receipt. It flows. It goes.
The read receipt is for the person who's looking at the text. I'm looking at the text I'm
reading it.
I'm not reading it.
But like if I send a message to somebody and they have their read receipts on, it shows me that they read it. It says read yesterday, not read yesterday.
But when you get a
that
receipt,
doesn't make sense.
But when you get a receipt, you are reading it, so they let you know.
But you read the receipt. You read it, as in it already happened.
Okay,
That's
so
what-
if you're at the grocery store and you get a receipt from the cashier and you're reading your receipt,
Are you gonna read the receipt?
You're reading
No,
the receipt.
you gonna
right
read the
now?
receipt?
No, I did read the receipt, but at that point,
So you read the receipt.
read-
So
but
you
at
read
that
the
point-
receipt.
But at that point, I read the receipt. But in that instant, it does say on your phone. It does say like read. If you're sticking with read, it says read yesterday. Does that make sense? It doesn't. It says it on the phone, like iPhone. The people, Apple.
So,
who-
okay.
who made that phone? Who made that phone?
I think
Apple
it is.
Who made
Okay,
that phone? It
so
says
what if it could go
read
both? What if it
receipts.
could
I
go
think
both
it's
ways?
open
then?
into interpretation.
No,
I
it's
think-
how we talk. It says
It's how we talk.
It
So
says
it's a
read
read receipt.
yesterday.
Okay,
it says
well,
read yesterday.
Agree
read
to call this a
yesterday.
tie. Any of you watching at home, if you happen to work for Apple or be named Siri, let us know what you think about this read red receipt thing. Also below, let us know what you want to see us talk about next time. Thank you for watching.